Well, how do you like that, huh? Texas beating Illinois in overtime. Um, I gotta be honest with you, free throws are still a big thing for us. But when you think about, we had 19 misses from the free throw line last night, and we still hit more than 20 free throws. That's a change from last year. Last year we had one of the best big men in the country, um, and we didn't get half that many free throws in most games. This year we're attacking the basket, we're running the floor. Most of those misses were from Tristan Thompson. So really, he's a phenomenal athlete. Really, he got 5 blocks last night, 20 points, 7 rebounds. He was unreal last night, and so was Jordan Hamilton. At least in the first 10 minutes of the first half. Um, thing is, Hamilton's a little too. I think Gary Johnson needs to be a little bit more assertive. Jordan Hamilton is just a little bit too young to have to take on all that pressure, and so is Tristan Thompson. Because he forced 2 or 3 shots there at the end of the first half when they went in that 7.5 minute scoring drought. He forced a couple shots because he knew his team needed a basket, but he doesn't need that much pressure on him. And when that kind of pressure is on him, he needs to take better shots. He needs to get into the lane. And overtime, excuse me, dropped my little microphone there. In overtime, he had 4 points, just two, or maybe it was 6. I don't know. I know he hit 2 baskets in overtime. Were just very under controlled penetration moves, which he should have done in regulation. To me, Corey Joseph was very not unimpressive, but he just didn't do anything that wowed me. I thought he was controlled. He had to show control. It wasn't wild or anything like that. But then that shot at the end of regulation showed great poise, and that's what a team needs. Everyone knows Tristan Thompson, Gary Johnson, Jordan Hamilton are the big three. Like I said, I think Gary Johnson needed to step up a little bit more throughout the course of that game. He had moments where he stepped up really and came through big for us. But there were moments where he needed to step up so that Hamilton and Thompson didn't have quite so much pressure as young underclassmen. But Johnson, he's been good for us so far this season. But Corey Joseph just hit a shot. That's the type of shot that defines a player's career. Someone needs to step up. They need someone besides the big three, Hamilton, Johnson, and Thompson, to hit a shot. And somebody comes through for us. We had 7.5 minute dry spell. And we're thinking, okay, we got to get the ball in Hamilton's hands, or Thompson, or Johnson, but we're thinking mainly Hamilton. We got to get the ball in Hamilton's hands here. Just a few seconds left. And a big play coming from a freshman. And again, Thompson, he played a great game, but there at the end of regulation, once again, he was going to go for the big dynamic block, and he got up in the air on the pump fake, and Illinois player, hit a pretty easy layup there to send it in overtime. But he's a true freshman. He's going to make mistakes. He played a great game for us. There were times where he came out of nowhere and swatted the ball, got a block, and you're wondering where he came from. It's fantastic. Really, this team's chemistry level is just so much higher. I like what Mack Brown did, though. He took Hamilton out of the game for about 3 straight minutes. 2.5, 3 minutes there at the end of regulation, saying, hey, if you're going to take wild shots, you did this last year, and we lost some games because if you're going to take wild shots, I have no problem taking you out. You are not this team. And I don't know if his ego was getting that big at the end of the game, or if he just knew his team needed some shots and he didn't quite know how to get there. Either way, I think it was a smart decision by Rick Barnes to take him out of the game because he was starting to hurt the team just a little bit. So you take him out, say, hey, we can win this. We'll play with or without you. And Doge Balbe, they're talking about the glue guy. They're saying Matt Hill might be a glue. I think I may have even said that in a video earlier this year. Doge Balbe shows up in so many ways that isn't shown on the stat sheet. He forced McCamey, Illinois' perfect point guard. People are just going on and on and on about McCamey. He's a good player, but he forced him into 4 turnovers. He's been averaging 8 assists a game. He only had 6. Forced him into 4 turnovers. He was taking Corey Joseph to school, and that doesn't surprise me. Corey Joseph's a freshman. He's just stepped out onto the court, freshman, not seasoned vet freshman. No, literally in his first 5 games as a freshman. And he's playing against a fifth-year senior who's got all the tricks. We saw him push off with the forearm on the step-back jumper. We saw all the moves out of him, post moves, everything. That was, I mean, it's not unfair. I mean, to me, you're kind of saying, I feel bad for this guy because you're saying that, you feel bad for this guy because he's a freshman, he has to guard the senior, but you got to grow up, But Doge Balbe came in, they switched it, and Doge Balbe, wow, he is an amazing defender. I already knew it, but I already knew he was a great defender, but he's just shown me even more in this game. Now we got Pittsburgh coming up. Pittsburgh's a great team. We killed a similar team, almost the same exact team Pittsburgh has this year to last year that we beat by, I think, 25, 30 points or something last year. This year's team, talent-wise, it's not as good as last year. We don't have as much sheer talent on this team, but we know how to use that talent better. Last year we just had too much talent and we didn't know how to use it. But this is a team that I think we can beat Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's a really good defensive team. We're going to have to box out. We killed Illinois on the boards last night. We killed them on the boards. Just demolished them. And they had a 7-footer. But the thing is, that 7-footer wasn't playing for Illinois fans jumped down my throat here. But that was another thing. Texas executed this game plan to perfection. Perfection. This game plan. They got Tisdale in foul trouble right away. Kept him out of the game. When he was in, he presented problems for us, rebounding. Hit a 3 even at the end of the first half. I mean, I knew he could hit threes. I didn't think he was actually going to take one. But he did. He hit it. Good form. Looked good. He presented some matchup problems for him. But what do you do to get past that? You don't make all these different substitutions. You take that guy out of the game. How? You attack him. They attacked him with penetration with Corey Joseph, with Hamilton. They attacked him just straight up in the post with Thompson and Johnson. Great job. Thompson, you need to improve your free throw shooting, because if you do that, Thompson had 8 of our 18 misses or something. 10 misses is something we can really settle with. No one guy missed any outlandish amount of free throws in this game but Thompson. So if Thompson, 4 of 12, if you hit 6 more, then you're 8 of 12. This would have been pretty much a no contest if we had hit all these free throws. It was just a great game. This makes me think even more. This team didn't fold. We were up by 9 points at one point in the second half, or 11 actually. I think we won an 11-0 run to start the second half, and of course Illinois made a comeback. No team, an Illinois team like that isn't going to go down without a fight, and they didn't. And so, man, they put up a fight. We could have folded, but we didn't. We kept fighting. We kept strong. And then in overtime, they came out, exploded, just like a lot like we did last year in the tournament. We came out on 8-0 run against Wake Forest in the opening round of the tournament. Ended up losing that game because we didn't have the heart defensively that we have this year. At the end of last season. This year, defensively, we played great. We're a great team all around. Offensively, we can explode at any moment. We can run and gun. We're not that good in the half court yet. We're pretty good. Most of our points actually in the first half. A lot of our points in the first half came in the half court set. I'd say a good 3/4 of them. But in the second half, we just couldn't get it going because we didn't feed the post to Johnson or Thompson really, and it seemed like when guys were driving in, they were just a little out of control. That'll improve as the season goes on. Hook 'em, Texas Horns. Hook 'em, Horns, Texas fight. Come on, guys. Pittsburgh coming up tonight. We're going to have to box out. We're going to have to rebound. We're going to have to play tough defense. I don't think this is going to be a pretty game. I think this is the type of game that we may have to win in the 60s, which is definitely not cool after the type of game we had last night. Pittsburgh is a great defensive team, but so are we. We can win this game. We got to box out. We got to play tough, physical defense. And Thompson, you gotta hit some of those free throws. You were hitting them at the end of the game last night, and you gotta just start hitting these periodically. Sprinkle them in here and there so that you can get a decent percentage. You can just tell this team totally just not playing for stats. This team's all about just winning the game any way possible. And that's what they did last night. Go get Pittsburgh.